Oh, look, I thought I should address you today on the unbelievable episode again over the weekend with someone from several people actually posting things on social media that are just despicable in this day and age. It's an unbelievable occurrence that we thought we were getting through to a small minority of people who continue to do it, but obviously it's not working. But it's abhorrent behaviour and very ignorant behaviour when this is occurring on a consistent basis with comments about Liam Ryan. It started a few years ago. It's continued with Eddie Betts, Tim Kelly. We've had Majak Daw. We've had Willie Rioli from our club, and now we've had Liam. And the cowards who post these sorts of messages really disappoints us to the max. I mean, I can't probably stress how strongly we feel about this with our players, with the people that work in our organisation and the people who work in our industry. We've got some fabulous people working with us. We've got some fabulous players working with us as well. And all they want to do is do their job, do the best they can possibly do without being criticised for who they are, what they stand for, and the wonderful work that they're doing. So I am appealing to those people who think it's okay to make those sort of statements to stop. I'm appealing to anyone who has a comment to make them positive about the wonderful players and people that we have from all sorts of cultures, including our Indigenous players who are outstanding and do a great job, not only for us in the community, but for Australian football and what we stand for. And those in the AFL and lower grades are doing a terrific job. And what we stand for is that we want to stamp this sort of rubbish out. And it's absolute garbage what these people say. And we can't, again, reiterate more how disappointed we are that these comments continue. So I just wanted to make that quite clear about our club and where we stand.
We saw last week with the Taylor Harris stuff, and then over the weekend there was a few antisocial issues in the crowd as well. Is there a behavioural issue at the moment with AFL fans that needs to be rectified?
I wouldn't say there is. I think our fans are as good as any in the world with their behaviour. However, there are pockets of people who I think may even go to the football to make a mess of our standards and what we consider as really good behaviour. Over generations, AFL fans and football fans across the country have been, outstanding with what they do at the football, and they go along to enjoy it. And one of the great things about our game is that our Indigenous players are some of the best in the business and probably the most exciting to watch. And we should be accepting of that and their personal lives and what they stand for. And we're just not going to keep tolerating these pests who keep making these sort of stupid statements.
Well, what can you actually do about it?
Well, we've got to find them if we can. That's the whole idea. And we've got integrity units looking at those things now from the AFL. If we can find the people, we ban them and ban them for life and get them out of our industry. And I think that's the best method. And if we can do that, I think we'll be in a much better place. What we need to do is continue to make strong stands against racism. And we see the hatred that develops over these sorts of comments, and we just can't keep tolerating it.
Do you think social networks also need to do more to ban trolls from using these platforms?
Oh, absolutely. It's a good comment, absolutely. I don't think the responsibility is taken far enough, and the agencies and social media need to address it.
So I think those accounts have been deleted since 2 years. Do you call on the social media companies to go back and find their footprint and find it and out them?
We'd like to see that happen. We'd like to see a lot of things happen in social media. I'm not one for social media, but there are a lot of people that think it's okay to make those sort of statements because they're anonymous. And when you, I think, perform those cowardly acts in an anonymous way, I don't think that helps the situation. I think these social platforms need to be fixed.
Have you spoken to Liam, and how affected has he been by this?
Oh, obviously he's devastated by the comments. I just don't think it's fair for a young man to have to go through this at any stage, let alone after he's already disappointed with his actions on the field, to get reported, and then the next thing that happens, he's getting these sort of comments thrown at him. And I don't think any of the boys should have to tolerate it.
It's just like all the players are banding together regardless of club, race, anything, and saying we're not going to tolerate it. That's been heartening to see everyone around the country get together and call it out.
We're thrilled with the players' support. It's not just our club, it's all clubs. And their support is very strong. And I think that's a wonderful thing for our game, that the boys are rallying behind their mates, albeit they may not even play in the same team, but they're certainly very strong in their stance about racism.
What does the club do now and this week to support Liam?
Well, we'll all get behind him, from staff right through to the player group. That's already obviously been happening since Saturday night, and we'll continue to work with the AFL through Phil Narkle, through Pete Staples, working with the integrity units over there to try and make these things, make our life a damn sight easier, so that we can concentrate on the things that people like going to watch, rather than these incidences that cause us this sort of angst.
We saw with Adam Goodes was so vocal over a long period of time, and he got to a point where he just hated the game because he was getting so much abuse. Do you feel like we're moving past it? We're actually progressing, or are we not? Are we still at a point where
you'd like to think we are moving forward, and there's more social media platforms now, of course. And I made a statement years ago when Adam was getting booed at the stadium about how disappointed I was with a lot of that. But that had been happening for years, and it's got to stop. And I think if we can continue to be outspoken from management right through to the player group, eventually some people, or the majority of people, and I think it is the majority of people, come to the football to enjoy it, come to watch our star players and our great players, come to watch our wonderful Indigenous players, and eventually we get to the stage where we weed out the people who continue to make these sort of comments and continue to, I guess, harass people who are our stars.
He gets a week as well. Obviously, it's separate incidents in a way, but there's an insult to him. How would he handle the fact that he's copying at one thing and then he's got the football at the same time? It's not an easy thing to have when you've got two issues, both negative in your life.
No, it's difficult. All of our young men go through that from time to time, and unfortunately it's something that we have to help him with and help him deal with it. But he's not the only one. There's, you know, it's not the end of the world, but it's just so disappointing when these things happen, and consequently all the young guys have to deal with it. We have to help them through it.